very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chico Dikabia Mapuni, Chineke, and son of the Ishala, Nina Goza, Nina Jama, and Yana Faros, Obanana, all the and then saw no one in and you went out of his Kahara and you were not young. We can keep a make a difference with your source and you were not but you know what? The like you do that's how Ekpa is the cause of it. No, I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not. I have come. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you. Keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because one idiot that they groomed will rise up and say to you, oh no, it's one Nigeria, there is crime everywhere. Haven't you heard about Zamfara? Haven't you heard about Katsina? There is crime everywhere. That is not the case. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own actions. They grouped them. Al-Qaeda in the Nigeria, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. Everybody brought them in. All the same government brought them in. Are you deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where would the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to you come to Onaji, you come to everybody, you come to Aguleri, you come to Ebo, you take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building the way to Niger, and you want me to be happy with you. Clap for your Nigeria. One Nigeria. I think you maybe not again. You are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax, everything. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger. Airport to Niger. Refinery to Niger. You take oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. Or as you're telling me that that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. You are in one Nigeria. You are not going anywhere and you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money so that they will come out. Pages of the newspaper to give the world the giving impression that everything is okay. When things are go and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized. And then you come back and say Nigeria is one. You must stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, you say Nigeria is not working. You are marginalized. You are being discriminated against. You are suffering. They are killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. So I mean, Democrats have subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Ekpa wrote to President Biden. In it, Ekpa said, come and help us fight terrorism in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the U.S. State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said that because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not people. When I say they say I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting them. Most of them are people. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we are born, where our umbilical cord, our law, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa, during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, you let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra,
Breaking news reaching us now, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Ekpa, Nnamdi Kanu, has been arrested, extradited to Nigeria, and is right now being arraigned at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him at the Federal High Court.
It was an unjust war.
Long ago, in the heart of Biafra, a nation was born from the ashes of war. A war that scarred the land and its people, yet it never killed the spirit of freedom.
The war aim of Biafra is purely to prevent ourselves being slaughtered, nothing more.
was in this land, scarred by conflict, that Nnamdi Kanu was born, a son destined to revive the dream of independence for Biafra.
And if anybody is going to judge our success and failure in this war, it will have to depend on how much we have prevented the enemy from killing us.
Raised with the echoes of his ancestors' struggles, Kanu understood that the wounds of war ran deep in the hearts of his people. The scars from the Biafran War, which ravaged the land and cost countless lives, had never healed. The dream of an independent Biafra, broken but not forgotten, lived on in the hearts of those who survived. It was these voices, these memories, that called him to action. As Nnamdi Kanu grew, so did his voice. He became a preacher of justice, a messenger for those who were unheard. He spoke not just for his generation, but for all those whose lives were shattered by the war. The pain of the past was alive within him, and his words resonated with the cries of the oppressed. But as Kanu's message spread, so did the fear of the establishment. His calls for self-determination grew louder, shaking the very foundations of the government. They feared the revival of a Biafran spirit, one that could awaken the wounds of the past and ignite a new conflict. And so, they moved against him. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, his body captured, but his spirit unbroken. The authorities believed that imprisoning him would extinguish the fire he had started. But they failed to understand the depths of his cause. The pain of the war, the bloodshed of the past, was not something easily forgotten. It was a flame that could never be fully extinguished. His arrest became a symbol of the struggle that began in the blood-soaked fields of the Biafran War. The demand for freedom was still alive. The fight for justice continued, not just for Nnamdi Kanu, but for all the lives lost, for all the children born into a world of scars. The fight for Biafra is not just his fight. It is the fight of all those who have ever dreamed of a free land. And though the past may haunt the present, the future is still unwritten. As long as the story of Nnamdi Kanu is told, as long as the voices of his people rise, the dream of Biafra lives on. Arrested again, 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 and yet again.
I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra, my right to agitate, my right. They turned it from treasonable felony now to terrorism.
This is Nnamdi Kanu speaking. Biafra land, listen. They thought they could silence me, but they didn't just cage me. They caged your spirit. They made you forget that our land still bleeds, that our people still suffer, that nothing has changed. 5 years in chains. But what about you? Are you not free? Or have they bound your voice with fear? The struggle was never about me, it was about you, your children, your land, your future. So I ask you, where is the fire that once burned in your heart? Where is the voice that once roared for freedom? Wake up! Rise again. Speak. Act. Remember who you are. This is
the very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chukwu okike abịa mapụrụ m ihe niile, Chineke na onye ndị nsọ na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala nye onye anyị na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile, onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-eto anyị enweghị iche ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị anaghị efe arụsị, ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onweghị onye kere ya. Ọ bụ ya mere ndị Igbo ji wee na-etu gị ebighị ebi. Ndị nsọ na-agba oche eze gị okirikiri ha na-akpụ isi ala nye gị, ọbụladị ndị okenye oru 2 na 4 bụ ndị na-atụ mkpọ ọla edo na ana ha niile si na-ede nsọ Chineke nna nke igwe. N'ụtụtụ a, ehihie, abalị, n'ụwa niile bụ ebe ụmụ gị gbasasịrị ka ụkpaka nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ka anyị na-akpọkọta ha eze ebube n'ime eluigwe wee na-arịọ gị ma mma gị na ebere gị amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị ezi ebube dị ngọzi ka igwe tinye ọgbaghara n'etiti ndị iro, ka ha rabụ ndị kụziri ka ha wee megide anyị onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị nsọ, ka aka nsị ndị dị etu a wee baa ha ọnụ, ije obodo ekwensu bụ zuu wee laa ya n'iyi. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị onye na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, biko ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ọsọ ọsọ nna nke ebere na ụmụ gị atakwala n'ahụhụ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị iwe na anyị ezi echiche na amamihe, mmekọrịta nwanne na nwanne ịdị n'otu ọganiru, ịhụnanya nke pụrụ iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna, ka i wee tinye ụmụ gị ezi mmụọ nke eziokwu ma wezuga anyị aka ajọ ihe n'ime ndụ anyị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Ka ọ ga-abụ ikpeta maazị na Biafra ga-abịa, anyị ga-aja gị mma wee too gị wee gọzie aha nsọ gị, kpee isi ala nye gị, bulie aha nsọ gị elu site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi ka a na-arịọ gị ise ise ise. This very morning, all of you, I believe that those who are watching know who we are and why we do what we do. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet Earth, the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, Chukwu Kikabia Mapurumi Henine, servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We are live and we are direct this very morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. And we start this very day by making it abundantly clear that the greatest enemy of a black man is the way that we reason. If not that the way we reason is very, very abhorrent, there is no need or reason why we should be suffering and complaining every blessed day without the courage to do something about it. Some of you tried to do something about it with the End SARS protest, but some of us quickly, or should I say some of you quickly capitulated because of your tribal affiliations or religious considerations. They managed to divide each and every one of you. But today you must make up your mind what you want to do. Do you want to change your lives, or do you want to continue residing in a damnable zoological republic with no hope, way, or means out of the mess that you're in? Why can't we change our lives? Those who are telling you that a revolution is not the best way to go about it, ask them, how come Russia is advanced today? How come the United Kingdom, Britain is advanced today? How come Germany is advanced today? How come France is advanced? How come Spain is advanced? How come the United States of America, of course, the greatest country on this very earth, is where they are today? Is because in each and every of these countries, there was a revolution. Either a violent overthrow of a very corrupt and inept regime, or there was what I would refer to as intellectual revolution. In Africa, none of these appears to be present at the moment. Those of them that commenced the NSAS protest tried as much as they can, but the forces that be overwhelmed them, the forces of darkness, the forces of hate, the forces of retrogression, the forces of iniquity prevailed, especially with the help of their journalists and their media houses. But this time around, we must prepare ourselves. But before we do so, we must ask this very important question. Are we all prepared for this very change that is about to come? Are we mentally tough enough to withstand all the garbage that will be thrown at us? Are you strong enough to jettison every emotional consideration that has to do with tribe, ethnicity, or religion? Once we are able to overcome all of this nonsense, believe you me, this very next phase of revolution will stand and stand very, very strongly. Everybody knows that Nigeria is a scam, a very big one at that. Nigeria is being run by an extremist bunch of dictators called the presidency. All of you know this. Everybody understands this very fact that Buhari is no more. You know that Buhari is dead. Everybody knows. But those still perpetuating this very myth that Buhari is alive are those pinning their hopes on 2023. So this is a collection of odd bedfellows. These are people who are determined by every means available to cling on to power, to continue to impoverish you, to continue to allow terrorists from all across the Sahel to occupy your farmlands and your forests. They rape your mothers, they abduct your sisters, they kill your traditional rulers, they kill the daughters of your prominent men, and you do nothing about it. Because their only consideration is to keep you focused on this very elusive, better Nigeria to come. You and I know that Nigeria can never, ever be better. We know that very well. The whole world understands that Nigeria can never, ever be better. Why are you pinning your hopes on it? You're pinning your hopes on it so you can go to Dubai, like Atiku and the rest of them, and buy houses for your wives and your concubines. You are doing so because you think it's the turn of your village to eat money. And I have consistently asked this question. Biden, that has just been confirmed as the US president, is he from your village? Boris Johnson from the United Kingdom, is he from your village? Is Angela Merkel from your ethnic group? I'm asking you in the zoo. But you prefer to live in all these countries, which means that ethnicity is irrelevant. What matters is the policies being pursued by any specific or particular government or regime, not where they come from. When people tell you nonsense about it is our turn, why don't we wait till 2023? They are only deceiving you. And if you allow yourselves to be deceived, things can only get worse. Fulani terrorists will take over your land. Time and time again, I have warned you on this very matter, but some of you never ever listened. I told our Yoruba friends that this thing you're supporting, this very evil government you're supporting, when they tagged IPOB a terrorist group, you supported them. You are going to pay a very heavy price for it. Had the Yoruba journalist stood up and said, IPOB did nothing wrong, you cannot tag them a terrorist group, believe you me, by today, you will not have Fulani people occupying Yoruba forests and farmlands. Because in this life, what goes around comes around. If you support evil today because you're benefiting, eventually that evil will overwhelm you. The same thing happened to APC. The same thing happened to Fulani Caliphate. They brought in terrorists from all across the Sahel. They brought them into Nigeria to try to force Jonathan out of office. Now Jonathan is out of office. They are now, of course, reaping what they sowed, all of them. Do you see that the North is in as much disarray as we have in the South, if not worse. When they were grooming and breeding these terrorists, they thought they were doing it just to assume political power. They never knew there was another dimension to it. That these terrorists that they all created will come back to consume them. And that is what is happening today. It is the spillover of their same, should I say, terror effects that we are feeling right across the South. That was why we said with the launch of ESN that we cannot allow that nonsense to continue. They know they are not going to make any headway in the East. They have turned their attention to the West. They are forcibly occupying their land and telling them that they cannot do anything about it. A whole presidency in a country openly and brazenly supporting terrorists. All of you watching and listening all over the world, you know that Miyetti Allah is a terrorist organization. You know that. They have killed. They have said that Benue State is theirs for the taking as a spoil of war. All of you are aware of it. You know what they are doing. Anywhere you have Fulani headsmen, terrorists for that matter, they tell you, oh, they are pastoralists. They are allowed to do their businesses in the forest. All of you are aware of it. But you kept quiet, hoping that somehow Tinubu will emerge as the president, or an Igbo man will come as the president, and your family will start enjoying. But in the meantime, you have no more farmlands, you have no more forests, you have nowhere you can call your own home. The same stupidity exhibited by Hausa peasants that enabled Fulani to take Sokoto from them, that enabled Fulani to take Katsina from them, that enabled Fulani to take even Kanu from them. Every Hausa land is occupied either by a Fulani emir or a Fulani governor. Some of you don't want to reason, you don't ever learn that the main aim of Fulani is to conquer your land and enslave you. Look at Hausa people today. As I wrote yesterday, they are worse than a discarded tissue paper. They are worth nothing. Only their language is what is relevant in their lives. Everything else is lost. All of you are repeating the exact same mistakes that the Hausas made. That is why they are in trouble. And that is why they can never ever come out of it. They are all suffering from what I would, an advanced version of the Stockholm Syndrome. Can you imagine that these people came into their land and took it over and they cannot do anything about it? Hausa is gone. It took Fulani very many years before they came out of their shell to say we are Fulani. Remember before, many years ago, they told you we are Hausa Fulani. We are Hausa Fulani. Because that time, their subjugation of the Hausa race hasn't been completed. Now they have completed it. Have they not completed it? And what is happening right now? I ask you what is happening now. Fulani have now come out to tell you we are Fulani people. Is that not what they are saying now? They are not telling you we are Fulani. No more Hausa Fulani. What does that tell you? That the Hausa race no longer exists. Do you want the same thing to happen to you? Do you want the same thing to happen to your families, to your villages? Do you want your towns, let's say Obomosho, to be renamed into a Fulani name? Do you want Onisha to answer a Fulani name? Forget all the nonsense about unity of Nigeria. All they are uniting against is your common interest. Unless you prefer epileptic power supply, unless you prefer to live your whole life without running water, unless you want to live in abject poverty and deprivation, your only alternative is a revolution. Let nobody discourage you. All the countries of the world doing very, very well, they all went through a revolution. You must go through it. If you don't go through it, you can never ever survive as a people. Fulani will take you over. As simple as that. This very day, we are making it known to the whole world that the Muslim extremist dictatorship masquerading as a secular democratic government must be demolished. It must be demolished for you to survive. They have to be demolished. If you do not demolish them, your lives will end very, very miserably. I assure you. I assure you. The zoo is on its knees. Everybody knows that the zoo called Nigeria is on its knees. Who doesn't know that? Everybody knows. Nothing is functioning. You are all aware of it. When they say go and register for NIM or whatever, NIM or whatever rubbish is called, all of you trooped out without legislation, without any laws. Fulani can control you however they like. Once they announce it, Yoruba newspapers very foolishly and stupidly will support them because they want Tinubu as the president. And you are all dying every blessed day. You are all dying every day. Had you people risen up to say that what is happening in Nigeria is bad, there is no way that Fashoranti's daughter will not be alive today. That is the price you pay for duplicity. That is the price you pay for treachery. That is the price you will continue to pay until you rise up and say enough is enough. It is up to you to do it. You did it during NSAS. You can do it again. Can you imagine Fulani people telling you, if you remove Fulanis from Yoruba forests, imagine Fulani telling you, if you remove them from your ancestral lands, there will be war, and you are panicking. And you have not asked yourself, why are they not saying the same thing about the East? Why did they not say to Eastern Security Network? Why did they not say to me, if you don't stop evacuating Fulani terrorists from the forest, there will be war? Because they know. They understand psychologically that you don't have what it takes to resist them. Do you know why Borno State is still alive? Why you still have the Kanuri people in Borno today? Was because they resisted the Fulani centuries ago. You have to go back to history to understand how Nigeria came into existence. Fulani has been expanding from day one, from Senegambia. All the way from Senegambia, they've been expanding, and now they are in Okigwe. All the way from Senegambia. They are now in Okigwe. And you're asking us to somehow fold our hands and keep quiet because of 2023, because one idiot is going to come out to become a president, because of that rubbish, because of that nonsensical notion, we should fold our hands and wait until we are overrun by the Janjaweed from the Sahel. Is that how reasonable people think? Is that how people that wish to survive as a race, is that how they reason? It is very, very shocking that some of you do not understand what the Fulanis have in store for you. Very, very soon it is going to happen. And when it happens, your eyes will clear. And about whom you will see it very clearly. I was warning you. In 2014, 2015, 2016, they said he's a warmonger. He's a warmongering. I went to America and I told World Igbo Congress that this war you are avoiding is going to come to your villages. They said, no, it's not going to happen. What is happening today? When Yoruba was supporting the dead idiot called Buhari, did I not warn them that this evil you're supporting will consume you? They never listened. They never wanted to listen. IPOB is a terrorist group. You're trying to divide Nigeria. But Mietiana is not. People that you are calling bandits, have you heard anybody come out to say, please Buhari, since presidency is there defending terrorists in the forest, why don't you proscribe them? No, you cannot proscribe a Fulani group. Never. And all of you, we are supporting evil. When there is the proscribed IPOB, proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. These are Yoruba journalists writing junk. Every day they keep writing rubbish. But their land is under siege. Their land is under siege. And the Fulani will take it. It doesn't take time. So I am here today to encourage them that they must stand tall and be very strong, resolute. That is what Fulani does. They control the media. They have well-paid consultants all over the world doing their bidding for them. They have that woman at UN trying to lobby the world that everything is okay in the zoo called Nigeria. But you and I know that the zoo is not okay. You and I know the game plan of the Fulani. And what are you doing about it? Nothing. Every day you read, you lament, you complain. Every day you read, you lament. And that's all you do. That is all you do. You read, you lament, you complain. You do nothing about it. Your lives are being taken away from you. Your forests are being occupied. Your mothers are being raped. Your daughters are being abducted. And the whole national government, presidency, is supporting such people. And you're telling me that Nigeria is viably sustainable. Is that what you're telling me? That somehow this contraption is sustainable, it is viable. It can never be. Because the more you stay in one Nigeria, the more you are inviting the Fulanis to take over your ancestral lands, take over your villages, and to make life a misery for you. That is the end game. That is the outcome. If you doubt me, go and do a bit of research. Ask yourself, who are the Hausa people? Who are the Nupe people? Who are the Bachama people? All of these people were steamrolled by the Fulani march to the Atlantic Ocean. And now they're in Yoruba land. They're in their forests. They are in their forests. And who is going to drive them away from there? If not the Yoruba youths. Forget about your useless governors. Your elders are very strong. I love Yoruba elders. The way they behave, the way they talk. Very, very strong. They said they support Akeredolu. That is the governor of Ondo State. They support him in what he's doing. People must come out to say that enough is enough. When you travel to the north, do you live in the forest in the north? The Igbo people in Sabongeri in Kanu, are they living of course it's Hausa land, are they living in the forest? They came to the town, they work very hard, they build houses, they build mansions, they develop the entire place. Is that not what they do? What are Fulani people doing in our forest? Nobody can answer that question. They say that they're pastoralists. I want some of you have had your breakfast this morning. Please go to your fridge or go to where you keep your beverages and you will see pig milk. Pig. Some of us were raised on pig milk. For how many years now? And you keep asking yourself, what is pig milk? Pig milk is the same milk that the cows produce in Holland can be produced in the zoo. Tell me the country in the world aspiring to be a member of the UN Security Council where you move cattle from place to place. Are you people well at all? You so-called Nigerians, are you normal in the brain? I'm asking you a simple question. Show me a country that aspires to be in the 21st century moving cattle from place to place, telling me they're grazing. Which country is that? Please tell me. All of you don't have any shame. When you have people, an entire presidency coming out to defend a very primitive, archaic agricultural practice, then you know you're in very serious mess. You are in one almighty trouble, I'm telling you. You people are in a mess. The Holland that you get your pig milk from, do they move cattle from Rotterdam to Amsterdam? I'm asking you a simple question. But they produce the pig milk that you're drinking every blessed day. Why can't Fulani produce pig milk in Sokoto? Why can't they produce carnation milk in Kanu? They have the cattle. Before the white man came, did you see any Fulani in your forest? All these people talking rubbish about movement of cattle and movement of... I'm asking you, before Britain came and handed over Nigeria to Fulani, ask your grandfathers, please, or your grandmothers. Ask them. All this nonsense we are hearing today in this so-called one, I want to tell you the dangers of one Nigeria. All this nonsense you're hearing today about one Nigeria, Fulani in our forest, Fulani in our village. Before the white man came, did you see Fulani moving their cattle all over the place? Did we not have meat to eat? They will answer these questions for you. Because sometimes in Africa, we don't reason very well. The way we reason is disjointed. It is disjointed. I can't understand for the life of me why instead of them to waste all that money arming and equipping this Janjaweed army Mihetiala to come and conquer you and I, why don't they open a milk factory somewhere in the north and bring the milk down south? I'm sure Southerners will buy it. After all, pig milk comes all the way from Holland. Pig milk all the way from Holland. Now you understand it. Because of the way you people reason. Why can't you produce? Is it difficult to produce milk? The same milk that comes out naturally from the udder of the cow. Why can't you can it somewhere, pasteurize it, and send it to people to eat, to drink, or to do whatever with? All over the world, that is what is happening. In fact, they produce so much milk in Europe that they pour it away. Why can't you do the same thing? A whole president claiming they are in the 21st century are supporting a very primitive practice of moving cattle from place to... All of you, you're not ashamed of yourselves. You have no shame. As somebody will say, your shame is shaming me. I'm telling you, you people from the zoo, I'm ashamed of your ignorance and stupidity. You people are hopeless, completely hopeless. One day now, one idiot to come and say, we are intellectuals. And you're moving cattle from Kafanchan to Ahoda. You are intellectuals. You are intellectualizing. You are in the 21st century, you are moving cattle, driving cattle, Nama, from over 300 miles, claiming Yoruba forest is a place for you to be in. You want to relax, Yoruba forest is every Nigerian is free to live anywhere. And do their business anywhere, yes. But when an Igbo man tries to sell beer in Kanu, you destroy it. You destroy their businesses, you destroy their hotels, but you can come down to the south and live anywhere you like and graze anywhere you like. And you're telling me that is a country, that is one Nigeria for you? The Fulanis we are talking, they call them the Funa movement. Our attention has been drawn to a decree credited to one Rotimi Akeredolu, asking Fulani people who have occupied some forests in Ondo State to quit. We are also aware of another incident in Oyo State where an illiterate political talk gave quit notice to Fulani people to leave their territories, which are now their irreversible homes. Are you listening? Fulani are now saying that Yoruba forest is now their irreversible homes. They have now occupied Yoruba land in perpetuity. And I want to let my Yoruba friends understand this. You see, in life, anytime you support evil, evil will come back to haunt you. All of you never knew that IPOB and this Biafra movement was for your liberation. Some of you saw maybe the oil and gas from Biafra land. If they go now, we'll have access to oil and gas. In the process of having your eyes fixated on oil and gas, your forest is gone. Do you understand it? There is nothing more precious in life than freedom. Freedom is very important. And I need you to understand this very morning. Every Yoruba person supporting Fulani, you are setting up yourself to become like the Hausa people. Remember when Hausa was supporting Fulani? We are Hausa Fulani, we are Hausa Fulani. Where are the Hausa people today? I ask you. Where are those Hausa people today? Do you see them anymore? They're saying we are Hausa Fulani, we are Hausa Fulani. Do you see them again today? Do you see them? I'm asking you. No, because Fulani have completely overwhelmed them. It's called emasculation. Completely emasculated them. Look at what they're doing in the East. In the East, they come to the East, I will tell you, oh, you want to be the president or vice? Yeah. They say, give us land for Ruga. They give them land. I saw Joseph Okado did that, Lord Banta. They have taken it over in forever and ever. Give us land in your state. Hope of them will prove to us that you are our stooge. Give us land in Olo. Hope of them will give them land in Olo. We can go and kill people in Obibo. We can kill for them. How many Fulani governors are prepared to kill bandits? I didn't say normal people. I'm talking about armed, dangerous bandits. How many Fulani governors? Go and read your newspapers, you will see it there. Fulani governors are negotiating with them, giving them arms, giving them vehicles, making sure that their life is no longer a misery. But see, they come down to the south. They tell you, give us land for Ruga. Go and kill your people to prove to us that you're one Nigerian. That was why Obioso was talking rubbish. He was talking, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Supported by the BBC. The problem you people have in Nigeria is this. Your journalists, you see people, Punch newspaper, Tribune, Vanguard, and Nation, they are your second worst enemies. I'm telling you the truth. They can never, ever be objective in their reportage. Never, ever, ever. That's why all of you are suffering. But you don't know it. They were the same people used to scuttle the NSAS protest. Of course, some of you went about looking for Indomie in warehouses. Typical black people. Any revolution that is coming now, you must stand very firm. They'll say, oh, you're Igbo. Oh, you're Yoruba. Oh, you are from Europe. Don't join them. It's our turn in 2023. If you do this, you will scuttle our chances of becoming the president in 2023. Ask yourself, all of them that have been president from time immemorial, what benefit has it brought to you as a human being? Absolutely nothing. So you have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. You look at them now, how they have now descended on Yoruba people, asking them to concede, give us your forest, we must graze, we must do this, we must do that. And slowly before your eyes, they are giving in, they are capitulating, they are allowing them to go, if you don't give it to us, Tinubu will not be president in 2023. Tinubu won't be the president. That's what I'm saying to you. And foolishly you will agree and hand over your land to them. And once they take your land over from you, look at Hausa. Because there is a saying where we come from. If you want to know what your life is going to become in the future, look at Hausa people. If you want to understand or appreciate, I would say, the life that you are about to bequeath to your children and grandchildren, look at Hausa people. Is there any Hausa governor today? Is there any Hausa emir? Is there land though? Katsina is Hausa land. Kanu is Hausa land. Sokoto is Hausa land. The Hausa people own it, indigenous to those areas. I'm asking you this question. Is there any Hausa man who's an emir in the north? The answer is no. Something's going to happen to you. If you don't rise up now to break, I'm not even asking people to break this, you demand for what rightfully belongs to you, your freedom. The freedom to decide. The freedom to write a constitution if you prefer. The freedom to live with whoever you want to live with. That is what we're asking for. But most people misunderstood what we are saying. And today, almost everything we have said about the zoo has come to pass. Everything we have told you, everything I told you has come to pass, hasn't it? Everything. And some people are still questioning and arguing. They said, Fulani will resist by all means necessary, including armed resistance, any attempt to forcefully eject them from the forest. Yoruba, you must ask yourself this question. When we were pursuing them from Igbo, why didn't they say something about ESN or Nnamdi Kanu? Why? Have you asked yourself that question? Because they know we are prepared to die to defend our land. They understand that very well. That is the only language the Fulani understand. You cannot say to Fulani, oh, let us have a Fulani president, and after that all will be well. Never, ever, ever. They will continue to expand. They will continue to identify idiots in your midst, traitors, saboteurs in your midst. They will promise them heaven and earth. They will give them anything they ask for in order to ensure that they get into you, they subjugate you. Look at Yoruba and the Ilorin. Yoruba, how did you lose a Ilorin? You lost a Ilorin because somebody thought or felt that by aligning himself with what he felt was a superior Fulani force, he can defeat his own people. Afonja, what happened? As a result of that miscalculation, the great Yoruba race lost a Ilorin to Fulani Caliphate. That is why in Ilorin you have an emir of Ilorin, not an Oba of Ilorin, answerable to Sokoto. That is where Lai Muhammad comes from. You can see them. Sokoto slaves in Yoruba land. When I say that, it's not religion. It has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with the mentality of a conquered people. Now they have left the Ilorin, having taken a Ilorin and taken it to Sokoto. They now want to come into Oyo. They want to come into Ondo. Once they take over all those places, it's over for the Yoruba race. Over for you. No, never again will anybody rise a man of honor or integrity in Yoruba land. Never ever. It will only be their stooge. Look at what's happening in the East. Only Fulani stooges can now emerge in the East. It took them very many years, nearly 50 years, to accomplish this very simple task of making sure that everybody, be it Ohanese, be it Pandef, be it governor, anybody you're bringing out must come to the north to swear allegiance to the caliphate. All of them, bar none. Is there any political godfather in the East? There is none. They all go to the north to go and swear allegiance to the Janjaweed. That is why our life is in a mess. That is why they can put someone like Obiozo and make him the Ohanese President General. In front of our eyes, in front of Korokoro. And what did they bribe? They gave money to BBC. They gave money to all Zoo newspapers. They started to trumpet Obiozo, Apex Group, Apex. You saw them holding their meeting under a canopy. A ton without shame. A whole Ohanese. Under sand, ton canopy. Maybe you saw it disgraceful and shameful. Talking rubbish. The man looks like a Janjaweed anyway. Talking nonsense. These are people they have prepared for you to sell you down the drain. By the time the Fulanis are done with you, believe you me, if you don't rise up now to fight for your freedom, by the time Fulanis are done with you, you'll be more useless than a Hausa peasant doing Babiala somewhere in Zaria. That is the future that awaits you. Now, our people must understand this very clearly, especially my Yoruba brothers and sisters. It is about time you stop supporting evil. That evil is in Asorok. That evil is a gang of reprobates calling themselves presidency. The more you keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because one idiot that they groomed will rise up and say to you, oh no, it's one Nigeria, there is crime everywhere. Haven't you heard about Zamfara? Haven't you heard about Katsina? There is crime everywhere. That is not the case. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own action. They groomed them. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. El Rufai brought them in. Bauchi State Governor brought them in. Are you people deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show me. Somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where would the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to Izombe, you come to Ohaji, you come to Ebema, you come to Aguleri, you come to Ebonyi. You take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building the way to Niger Republic. And you want me to be happy with you? Clap for you. Oh, Nigeria is doing well. One Nigeria. I think you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax that we pay. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger. Airport in Niger. Refinery in Niger. You take oil, crude oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. Or as PPS as you call it. And you're telling me that that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. We are in one Nigeria. We are not going anywhere. And you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money and positions. So that they will come out on the pages of newspapers to give the world the misleading impression that everything is okay, when things are not okay. Go through the statements of Ohaneze and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized. And then you come back and say Nigeria is one. We must stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, you say Nigeria is not working. You're marginalized. You are being discriminated against. You're suffering. They're killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. I'm a Democrat, I've subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Atiku Abubakar wrote to President Biden. In it, Atiku Abubakar said to come and help us fight terrorism, in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the U.S. State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said it because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not educated. When I say, they say I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting you. Most of you are not educated. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we were born, where our umbilical cord, how long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, you let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Cotonou, go to Yaoundé in Cameroon. Everybody living in the capital cities of Africa, they go back to their villages. They go back to their tribes where they come from. Do they do that in the Western world? During Christmas, these people migrating from, oh, I come from Florida, I'm going to Florida. No, you don't. Because people come from where they are born. We come from where our ancestors were born. That is the difference between black people in Africa and those from Europe and other parts of the world. We come from, so if you ask somebody, where do you come from? He or she will mention their village. That is what makes us Africans. It's very, very unique. If you destroy that, you're finished as a people. In Africa, we are tribal. First and foremost, we belong to our tribe where we come from. That is why our people need to appreciate this. Very, very critical. That Africa is restructured to recognize where people come from.
The issue of Abore is a no-go area because a lot of things have changed. During the time of the Abore Accord, we do not have 6 terrorist groups in Nigeria. And that 6 terrorist groups, they are coming from one particular region. We do not have that during that time. So there are so many compelling factors that will make us not to talk about Abore Accord. Abore Accord or anything restructuring is out of question. Of course, some people may argue that, well, yes, let us restructure regionally and all that. And my question to them is, how do you restructure the 6 terrorist group? We need to handle this issue in a way to solve the terrorists, to solve the issue of insecurity. And we say we have researched and we know how to solve it. How to solve it is to, first of all, identify the reason why you have the terrorist group in Nigeria in the first place. What are the reasons? The reason is very simple. The terrorist group are fighting for Islamic State. What is Islamic State? Islamic State is a state where you have Sharia law. The Sharia law may be very extreme, but however, there is no difference between Islamic State and Sharia law. The Sharia law, Islamic State. Islamic State is Sharia law. Now, when you disintegrate Nigeria, automatically you have disintegrated the interest of the terrorist group that were formed to make sure that they turn Nigeria into Islamic State. Because as I speak to you now, the 12 northern states in Nigeria already are practicing Sharia law. And even though we have Christians in the northern Nigeria will be very comfortable with their Sharia law because they're already practicing that at the moment. That will also disintegrate the interests of the terrorists who are eyeing the middle belt of Nigeria and the southern Nigeria. When that is done, when Nigeria is created tribal line, the interest of this terrorist group already has been disintegrated 80%. How do we end this terrorism in the north? By that time, all terrorists will either lay down their arms in frustration or they continue to launch terrorist attack in other neighboring countries like the Middle Belt, Biafra, and Ududuwa. And what do? We are going to have what we call a joint military operation for a complete wiping out of terrorists in Sahel region because we are going to have uncompromised military. In Nigeria today, you have compromised military. You have military who are sympathetic to the terrorists. And those who are ready to fight the terrorist group in Nigeria will never be allowed to become the chief of army staff. Even if they're allowed to become the chief of army staff, the chief of army staff does not go to one front. The people that goes to one front who are sympathetic to the terrorists, so it can never work. And it can never end the war on terrorism. But disintegration of Nigeria will end the war on terrorism. It will make us, Biafra people or Ududuwa people, and however, whichever country that is going to emerge from Nigeria, uncompromised military operation to bring Africa to a safe place. Like I said, the disintegration of Nigeria will be the beginning. Lastly, you also agree with what most of the things I've said, and I'm very happy for that. And it will be good that with this thing that you said I have planted in your minds today, we begin to discuss it. Let it begin to germinate. That sometime, you also agree that sometimes you need to to disintegrate in order to come together. And that's what we're asking for. The disintegration of Nigeria, the disintegration of those who feel oppressed, who feel they are different, and for that, they are not being carried along in any government. Bringing them and making them go their way and govern themselves will strengthen the unity of Africa at the end of the day.
Heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this program, wherever you are joining from. You are highly welcome. Either you are watching on YouTube, you are watching on Facebook, or you're watching on TikTok. Wherever you are joining us on this platform, I welcome you and I appreciate you for being part of the program. We have come once again, today being Monday. Remember, Monday is a special day for us. Those of us who are very active and genuine into this very struggle, more especially those who align with our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Monday is a very special day for us. It is a day that we keep the memory alive and we will never back down. Monday is the day we demand for the unconditional release of our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Monday is a day that we show the world that every politician in Biafra land has lost legitimacy. Monday is a day that will prove to the world that we are not just saying that we want to be free, we are ready, more than ready to be free. So wherever you are watching this program, I welcome you to this special Monday section. In this month, it is special because we are in a month of the remembrance of our heroes. Today is 25. More 5 days to go. More 5 days to go for us to observe our Heroes Day. And this Heroes Day is coming with exception. It's coming with massive actions. It's coming with very important events, more especially the Sokoto Declaration. So it is something that every one of us is looking up to. And wherever you are, remember that 30th of May is a total lockdown in Biafra land. This is a day we remember our heroes. You don't need to be forced. Nobody needs to push you. All you need to do is to be human. If you are human enough, not just people from the Biafra land, but mainly people from Biafra land, and Igbos in particular, there is no family in that old Southeastern region that did not lose a person because of the civil war. Nobody. There is nobody that did not lose a family member because of the civil war that lasted 3 years, from 1967 to 1970. And we are remembering them on the 30th. 30th is a total lockdown. It is not just sit at home, it is a lockdown in Biafra land. Try and get everything you need outside before 30th. On 30th, you will sit with your family, pray to our lost heroes, pray for Biafra, pray for our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. 30th day is a day you sit at home, in your home, and reflect on where we are coming from, where we are going, and the danger ahead. It is a very important anniversary that is coming, more especially at this point in time. It's a very important one. At this time that Nigeria is on the front line on the global stage, and the world is paying attention to the atrocities of that contraption against the indigenous people. At this time that Nigeria has been proscribed as a country of particular concern, known as a terrorist country, not just because of I said it, but a credible court in Canada said it, that the ruling parties in Nigeria are terrorist organizations. And that information is verifiable. You can't verify it on your own. As we speak, Nigeria is a failed state. So this year, Hero Day celebration on the 30th is going to be exceptional. Prepare yourself. And as you prepare yourself, guide yourself equally. You know that the Fulanis are very fond of attacking on the day we have our remembrance. The Fulanis, the terrorists, are very good at attacking us on the day we have an important program. So you must prepare yourself. In the next 5 days will be 30th of May, the day we will do our Heroes Remembrance Day. Don't lose your guard. No matter what you see, no matter what happens, do not lose your guard. Our enemies are not resting. Our enemies are not relenting. They are ready to fight and fight and fight and put everything on the line. And we need to be prepared as well. We need to be prepared and be ready to put everything on the line, to fight with everything in us, to make sure that our voice is heard. The clock is ticking. I appreciate everyone that have been able to observe this very sit at home for almost 5 years. Biafrans are observing it. regardless the temptations, regardless the attack, all the propaganda, mainly in Anambra State. Recently, we saw that Toludo is continuing in his attack against Sitato. Soludo recently put a fine on traders, some millions of naira to be paid if you don't open your shop, millions of naira. Soludo is not backing down. He is still making more threats. He has demolished stores, demolished market, and yet people are sitting at home. He has demolished homes. People are sitting at home. Now he's going ahead to put a fine, millions of naira that people have to pay. These are the people who were saying that sit at home was enforced. They were crying and saying that someone was enforcing sit at home. But from every indication, it is now clear that nobody is enforcing the sit at home, even after almost 2 years that Simon Ekpa is not in the picture. The situation remains the same. Biafrans sit at home. They have used every kind of force to force Biafrans to come out. Biafrans are sitting at home. There is nobody enforcing it. Just like we have always been saying, nobody enforces it. The only people that is enforcing anything today is the government of the day. Soludo, more especially, forcing people to come out against their will. Forcing people to trade against their will. He has gone to the extent of organizing false flag to persuade the people to come. But the world is watching. The world is watching. I appreciate every Biafran who has stood strong. I know the battle is not easy. It's been a very difficult battle. But at the same time, you've been able to hold yourself and continue to fight on up to this moment. I appreciate every one of you. And I thank you for doing what you have to do and following your heart. So this morning, being Monday morning, a day we observe our sit at home, we'll keep the memory alive. It doesn't matter how many people participate in it. It doesn't matter the number that participate, but we must keep that memory alive. Very important. The memory of sit at home must be alive. The topic we are discussing today says, the memory of sit at home, British colonial influence in Nigeria, and the fear of Igbo ingenuity. This is the topic we are going to discuss today as we look into the sit at home. A lot is going on out there. Many you see, many you do not see. There are a lot of propaganda, a lot of blackmails out there. A lot of attack from inside and outside. The Fulanis are not relenting. The British are not letting go. So many things are happening. But in the midst of all this confusion and trial, we must remain focused. You must remain focused. Don't lose your guard. That's why today we still come out to speak. No matter what, even in the most difficult time, even when we need to take a break, we can't afford to take a break because it is very essential to be here. We must keep that memory alive. Remember, we don't come to this platform to instigate violence. We do not come here to preach hate. We don't come here to attack any race or religion. In this platform, we welcome everybody, regardless your location, your race, your religion, your belief, your ideology. You are entitled to your opinion. You are very much entitled to your opinion in this platform. If you have a superior argument, while I'm speaking, you have a superior argument, all you need to do is to send me your request. I will bring you in and you make your point. And the world will listen to you. There are people listening everywhere. People are listening on different social media networks, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on TikTok. So wherever you are, all you need to just send your request. I will click in, you bring other people, will hear your voice, and you will make your point. And then the people will judge. Once again, I say good morning, great people, lovers of truth, lovers of freedom, lovers of history, and everyone joining us from different parts of the world. I welcome every one of you. Welcome once again to this powerful morning broadcast. Today we are going to discuss a topic, though is emotional, historical, controversial, and deeply important to the millions of people across Nigeria, Africa, and the global Igbo community. In this platform, we discuss those topics they don't want us to talk about. We talk about issues they are hiding. We make sure we bring it to the front line for people to engage and begin to debate about them. That is how to solve problems. Our topic this morning is the memory of Monday sit at home. The British colonial grip on Nigeria through politics and political system, and why Igbo ingenuity is often seen as a threat. This discussion is not about hatred. This discussion is not about violence. I will keep on saying this in all my platforms, on all programs, so that you can understand better. This discussion is about history, memory, political analysis, identity, the importance of understanding where we came from in order to understand where we are going. I encourage everyone listening today to remain respectful in the comment section. Try as much as possible to be respectful in the comment section. Share your thoughts intelligently. History is important because nations that fail to examine their past often struggle to understand their future. That is why Nigeria is in a great confusion today, because they have abandoned history and refuse to look into history. Please like the broadcast as you are watching. Share this live stream everywhere in all your platforms. Share it. Subscribe if you have not done so, and invite others to join this important conversation. Very important. Invite people. Don't watch alone. We need to carry everybody around. Allow those that have questions to ask their questions, regardless what the question might be. Just try and be respectful. Either you send your request or you put down your comment on the comment section, and people of the world that are watching are going to read, and they'll hear your own view. For many people across southeast of Nigeria and among supporters of Biafra around the world, Monday sit at home become more than just a weekly action. The Monday sit at home is more than just a weekly action. To many, it evolved into symbol of remembrance. That is what it is. It is a symbol of remembrance, a symbol of protest, a symbol of solidarity, and a symbol of political expression, if you may think. That is what it is. So when you see the politicians fighting it, when you see the Nigerian government fighting it with everything in them, they can even take life to stop it. You begin to ask why. Why are they doing what they are doing? It is because they don't want us to remember. They want to make sure we do not remember who we are. We do not remember our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu. They know that the Monday sit at home is a symbol of remembrance. For as long as we continue to remember, they can't hold us down. They also know that it is a protest. They know that it's a protest against the inhuman treatment against the Biafran people and our leaders. They know it's a protest. That is why Soludo and co are fighting it with the help of the Nigerian government. They know it is a solidarity for the cause of Biafra. That is what sit at home is. That is why they can't afford to hear about it. They want to crush it by all means. They equally know that sit at home is a political expression, very democratical, peaceful way of expressing one's opinion. In a situation where you are dealing with tyrants that can allow you to express yourself, they know sit at home is a democratic way of expressing views. You can call it political way of expressing views. They know very well. Very peaceful. And that is why they have decided to demonize it. They created many false flags to demonize it, gave it different kinds of names, made it look violent when it is not. The Nigerian government used the governors in the southeast to make the sit at home look violent, but it is not. Has never been. They tell you it's been enforced. They tell you that people are dying. When they talk about enforcement, Mazi Simon have been out of the picture for almost 2 years. The liberation armies have not said anything about or spoken or seen anywhere. And yet, the sit at home is going on. Soludo continue to threaten destruction of shops, imposing of fines, millions of dollars, millions of naira. Simply because people air their opinion. Monday sit at home become one of the most talked about civil action in modern Nigerian political history. No matter how you look at it, no matter who speaks about it, even an enemy, they know very well that Monday sit at home has become one of the most talked about civil action in modern Nigerian political history. You can't change that. Every Monday you see empty road, silent markets, closed schools, quiet cities. Up to this minute as we speak, it speaks volume. The world is watching and they are asking questions. And it confirms the facts that Nigeria has no legitimacy in Biafra territory. Their politicians have no legitimacy. That the Biafrans have already exited Nigeria spiritually, completely exited. It tells the world Nigeria is an occupation force in Biafra territory. Those images created global attention. Those images you see every Monday create global attention. Every Monday, when you look at Biafra land, what you see represents sacrifice and remembrance. What you see, the deserted street, people sit at home, locked shops, locked businesses, represent sacrifice and remembrance. But to our critics, to the enemies, to the Janjaweed and the Nigerian government politicians, they see that as economic hardship and fear. For those who are castigating the struggle, the enemies of Biafra, they see it as hardship and fear. But for us, who on our own are genuinely pursuing our freedom, it represents sacrifice and remembrance. For the whole world know that freedom doesn't come cheap. In freedom fighting, you must make sacrifice. You must pay a heavy sacrifice, sometimes with your life. That is how important freedom is. In the quest for freedom, sometimes you use your life to pay a price. So freedom doesn't come cheap. What you see in entire Biafran land every Monday is sacrifice and remembrance. But the government always interprets it to be economic hardship and fear. Meanwhile, the people that are imposing economic hardship and fear on the masses is the government itself. The only people we know that is imposing economic hardship and fear on the people is government itself, terrorizing the citizens. As you see them today, collaborating with terrorists. Look at innocent children who have been kidnapped for weeks now in a school, and their teacher beheaded before them. Up to this day, they are still in captivity. And the country is moving on. Go to all their networks, go to all their media, you won't hear about that anymore. What you'll be hearing, the topic you'll be hearing on other media is about the election. They have moved on. They have moved on after school children have been kidnapped, teacher beheaded. They moved on. Go to their media, and no media is reporting it anymore. And those people are still in captivity even as we speak. But these are the people that will come and tell you about sit at home, being economic hardship and fear. They will tell the people that are sitting at home because of fear. Meanwhile, in the zoological republic itself, the government is terrorizing the people and creating hardship every single day. To observers around the world, it raises serious questions about unresolved political tension inside Nigeria. When you look into Nigeria today, you look into Biafra land, you see deserted places. You look into the situation of Nigeria, the only thing the observers across the world will see is the question about unresolved political tension inside the zoological republic. What made it powerful, the sit at home, was not only the action itself, but the symbolism behind it. This is why we can never allow the memory of sit at home, Monday sit at home, to die. It is very symbolic. Very symbolic. And what made it powerful is not the action itself, but the symbolism behind it. That is why we keep that memory alive. It doesn't matter what they say, what they do. We will keep the memory alive. Many people who are connected to the movement keep the memory of Biafra alive. We will never forget, more especially in this month of May, the Nigerian Civil War, the continuing debate over justice, fairness, representation, and political inclusion. We will keep the memory alive. That is why we can never forget. We will never, this memory will continue to be alive in us. Even when we are gone, our children will keep the memory alive. For many families, memories of civil war never truly disappear. Till date, the pain, the starvation, the displacement, the destruction, those memories survive through stories passed from one generation to another. And that is the important of us coming online every day to educate the Biafran people. And this is why history remains emotional each time it's been told. Because history is not only written in books. History lives inside the people. History is not only written in books, it lives inside people. That is why no matter what Nigeria does to wipe away history, we have our history living inside us. And we play it out, we demonstrate it from us. When you look at us, you see the history of Biafra. When you look at us, the Biafran people, the Biafra agitators, those who are genuinely pursuing the freedom of the Biafran people, when you look at us, you will see the true picture of Nigeria, what it is. You will see history with your own eyes. You don't need to investigate. It is so sad. Now, let us move deeper into history. To understand modern Nigeria, many historians believe we must first understand British colonialism. You can't, no matter how you try to run away from it, you cannot understand what is happening today in Nigeria until you look back, go back to colonial time of the British, to what British have done. Only then and then you can be able to genuinely speak about the situation of Nigeria today and provide solution. Nigeria, as we know it today, was shaped under British colonial administration. Different ethnic nations, different culture, different religion, and kingdoms were merged together under one political structure during colonial rule. These are people that have nothing in common. Nothing whatsoever in common. No resemblance. Not the same religion, not the same food, not the same value system. The famous amalgamation 1914 joined diverse regions into one administrative entity. That was when this evil was created. And that very move that was made have been debated for many decades by scholars. Why? Why would you merge together people that do not have the same value system together? Without their consent, by the way, without their knowledge, you merge them together by force. Was Nigeria created for the benefit of the people or for the administrative and economic convenience of the British Empire? The answer is yes. Nigeria was not created for the indigenous people. Nigeria was not created for any friendship or to create any unity among anybody. No. This question has its answer out there. And this question continues to appear in political discussion today. Colonial governments often use direct rule, indirect rule. They always use indirect rule. And that indirect rule is what they are still using today in the Zoological Republic. More especially at this tenor of the drug baron. You can imagine the British rolling out red carpets for a fraudster, a drug baron, a man who stole election. And these are people who say they respect democratic value. They respect human rights. Yet they rolled out a red carpet for the worst president on the planet Earth today. This is when we say the world is concerned about interest. Nobody wants to protect your rights for you. Nobody really wants to protect your right or protect your defense. It is about their own interest. Once their interest is protected, it's all good to go. They will accept anything. That system allowed colonial authorities to govern through selected local leaders while containing overall control from above. That was what the British put in place. The system you see them operating in Nigeria today was put in place by the British. The system was put in place by the British. A system which allows colonial authorities to govern through selected local leaders while maintaining overall control from above. That is still the system they are using today to rule Nigeria. That is why they still decide who becomes your president. You go to Chatham House and speak. For you to be a president of Nigeria, you must speak there. And you must get approval from the British. over time, political structure emerges that many critics argue continued even after independence. That is why some people say the colonial masters left physically, but part of the colonial structure remained politically. You think they have gone. You never got any independence from day one. One thing you will know that shows you that you don't have an independence is that when they were living, instead of giving the power to people who are qualified, they gave power to people who are going to be obedient to them. You and I know that even the British themselves confirm that the southern part of Nigeria are most educated, very brilliant, very industrious. But ask yourself, why is it that when they were living, they left power for the North? Even when the British knew very well that the North, with their own description, they describe the North as lazy. They have nothing, uneducated, lazy, and they're not even ready to be educated. But the South was described by the same British as brilliant, industrious, smart. And yet, when they were living, they chose to hand over the country to those who are lazy and uneducated, and told them that the land belongs to them. And that was why immediately they left. Ahmadu Bello made a broadcast and said Nigeria must be protected as the estate of their father, Ottoman Danfodio, the first jihadist that entered Nigeria, the first foreigner that invaded Nigeria. Today is claiming ownership of the country. And British gave them that notion that they can own Nigeria for as long as the resources continue to flow to them. But I bet you the end is near. It will no longer be business as usual. The end is very, very near. Today, many Africans still debate whether post-colonial government inherited system that encourage division instead of unity. And that is actually true. Once you inherited in Nigeria does not in any way encourage unity. We are not one people. And the intention of the creation of people who created Nigeria was not to make you united. It was to make you divided. That is why it is necessary for people to go their separate ways now. Because nothing good is going to come out of this contraption. Nothing. What you see is ethnic competition, regional mistrust, political favoritism, unequal development. Across Nigeria, this is what everybody sees. Even so many people refuse to talk about it, but that is what the situation looks like. And this is why conversation about colonial history continue to generate intense emotion. It's not that it's a fact that we must continue to go back to. No matter how uncomfortable they feel when they hear this, we must have to spell it out and say it the way it is. There's no way we can conclude on this discussion without talking about another sensitive issue, which is the reputation of Igbo Ingenuity. The reputation of Igbo Ingenuity across Nigeria and beyond. The Igbo people are widely recognized for entrepreneurship, trade, innovation, migration, education, and resilience. Everybody agrees with this. In many countries around the world, you will find Igbo-owned business thriving. Igbo-owned business in all parts of the world, you will see Igbo-owned business thriving anywhere you go, including in Saudi Arabia, including in Iraq, Iran, In the places you think that life doesn't exist, you will see them. Owning businesses and striving. From technology to manufacturing to transportation to commerce. The Igbos are everywhere. The entrepreneurial spirit of the Igbo people has often been praised internationally. Internationally, that very Igbo entrepreneurial spirit is praised. You talk about the apprenticeship of Igbo people has become a cause for study for the West. After the Nigerian Civil War, many families rebuilt their lives from almost nothing. Many Igbo families, they rebuilt their life almost from nothing after the Civil War. That resilience became part of the Igbo identity. There is no situation that we cannot survive. We have fought through it all. That is why sometimes when I see some Nigerians from other regions throwing their tantrums and saying things that are inobtainable, I begin to wonder, does it mean that they don't know history, or does it mean that they just ignore history and want to feel relevant? The resilience became part of the Igbo identity. Very resilient people. That was why we were able to survive after the Civil War. And because of this, some people believe the rise of Igbo economic influence created political anxiety in certain circles. Just because of this ingenuity, because of our resilience, some people feel threatened. They feel threatened. They don't want us to be on top. They know they can't handle us. They can't keep us down. Just like Ahmadu Bello confessed. They can't keep us down. They are scared. And they are not ready to engage in a genuine civil competition to build themselves. This perception has fueled many political arguments over the years. Some people argue that Igbo ambition and self-determination are misunderstood or unfairly politicized. That is the truth. Very, very true. Igbo ambition and self-determination are misunderstood or unfairly politicized. What we are asking for today is something that is going to favor every region, including the Hausas. It is going to favor everybody. What we are asking for today: self-determination, self-rule. Every region will decide their own fate, choose what they want, and do what they want to do without anybody interrupting. But instead of supporting that, which will favor everybody, some of them prefer to die in the hand of the Janjaweed. I played a video here where somebody was saying that instead of them to work alongside with the Igbos or allow Igbos to succeed, that it's better that let the Fulani continue to cut their hair. You can imagine when you hear such kind of word, then you know that the country is heading nowhere. You know that Nigeria is heading nowhere. Even though people pretend, and some will come and tell you, oh, Nigeria belongs equally to all ethnic groups, and that national unity should remain the priority. They talk about national unity, just like the one that Gowon is talking about. National unity, he started preaching when he was young, and today he's going to his grave after taking millions of lives. Yet, national unity was not obtained anywhere. And you are still talking about national unity. After something that had taken millions of lives and could not be achieved. It is sad. But people must continue to debate. In television, social media, universities, political spaces. Continue to talk about these issues. Don't keep silent. It is very important. There is one thing nobody can deny. One thing nobody can deny: the Igbo contribution to Nigerian economy, education, and business sector is enormous. You can't deny it. Even an enemy cannot deny it. And history shows that despite hardship, many Igbo communities continue to rebuild through determination of enterprise. Every single thing you see in our life, it is we who rebuild ourselves. All we are asking is enabling environment. Just like when we are talking about the seaport, all we need is just that approval. And you will see people, individuals in Biafra land will build the seaport. We have people who are qualified, ready, they have the money to do it. But the federal government will not let them. Why are these conversations still important decades later? Because unresolved history does not disappear. When people feel unheard, they continue searching for platforms to express themselves. When groups believe they are politically marginalized, tension remains alive. This is why many activists continue to call for dialogue, constitutional reform, justice, inclusion, peaceful engagement, self-determination. We will continue to ask. It doesn't matter how you feel or what you think about it. Your feeling or what you think cannot stop the people from doing what they have to do. History affects identity. History affects politics. Politics affects future. Young Africans today are asking difficult questions. How should nation handle historical grievance? How can unity be built in a diverse country? What lessons should Africa learn from colonial history? How can government build trust among all regions and ethnic groups? These are very, very serious questions. And serious questions deserve serious discussion. But is this happening? The discussion is not happening. It is not happening. More especially in Nigeria, it is not happening. When you talk about it, they will tag you a tribal bigot. They will call you an instigator. They can even label you a terrorist simply because you call for a genuine discussion. People preserve memory through song, book, anniversary, speeches, documentary, and public discussions. This is how people preserve memories. Like our anniversary that is coming, the Heroes' Day anniversary that is coming on the 30th. It is to preserve history. And Nigeria is fighting it by all means to see that that history is not remembered. But we must remember. We can never forget. Never, ever forget. That is why they are fighting it. For many people connected to the Biafran story, remembrance remains deeply emotional. When we remember, it is too emotional, deeply emotional. For others, the focus is on building national unity while learning from the past. But how can you build national unity in a divided country like Nigeria without a single value system? But regarding of political opinion, one important principle remains: every society benefits when citizens can discuss history peacefully and responsibly. When citizens can discuss history peacefully and responsibly, then the society benefits. Freedom of expression is important. Open dialogue is important. Historic understanding is important. And this is why platforms like the live stream that you are watching today continue to attract attention around the world. Because people want to talk. People want to be heard. People want to understand. This is why we come online every day, to give people that opportunity to ask their questions, to pour out their hearts, speak their mind. The whole world is watching. Some of you can't underestimate where our informations are going. Every single thing you do online, on social media, don't underestimate where it goes. It goes very far. It doesn't matter how many people that are watching you. It doesn't matter. It is going very, very far. And this is why we must continue to speak and broadcast anytime, any day, whenever we have the opportunity. We always come. Because people want to talk. People want to be heard. People want to be understood. Wherever you are today as a young person, I have a message for you. To the young people listening this morning, wherever you are, you must study history deeply. You must read widely. You must think critically. Avoid hatred. Avoid violence. Avoid misinformation. Do not allow social media anger to replace wisdom. Because what many of us are displaying in social media is anger. Anger. And when you are angry, you end up shouting and abusing people, and you will not pass any message. The future of Africa will depend heavily on informed young people who understand both history and diplomacy. That is how we can go. Activism without wisdom can become dangerous. But informed civic engagement can help society grow stronger. You can defend your identity while still respecting others. That is it. You don't have to disrespect people simply because you claim to be defending yourself. Just like the Fulanis take life for their own selfish interests. In their pursuit for their preservation, they go ahead and take life. You don't need to do that. Activism without wisdom can become dangerous. But informed civic engagement can help society grow stronger. You can defend your identity while still respecting others. You can challenge the political system peacefully, just as we are doing by peaceful sit at home. Peacefully sitting at home. Nobody is throwing any rocket or any bomb. Nobody. Peaceful demonstration. Civil disobedience. You can advocate for reform without promoting hatred. That's exactly what we've been doing as Biafrans. But for us, they hate us. They push lies and propaganda against us. And above all, never stop learning wherever you are. Don't stop learning as a young person. Don't stop learning. Now we have all we need to learn in our hand. Once you have your smartphone, you have your computer, you can equally get any information you want to get across the world, except you are not interested. Whatever information you are interested in, you will get it. As we are drawing close and rounding up on this very live stream, let us remember this. History remains powerful because it shapes memory. Memory shapes identity. Identity shapes nations. The discussion around Monday sit at home, colonial history, political system, and Igbo ingenuity will likely continue for many years to come. It will continue. But the goal should always be understanding, peaceful dialogue, justice, and responsible engagement. That should always be the goal. Let us continue asking questions. Let us continue learning. Let us continue discussing history responsibly. Wherever you are watching me today, I appreciate you. Continue to be strong. Don't allow anybody to demoralize you. Nigeria is gone. Nigeria is gone. And when we are speaking, the demonstration we are doing, mainly this modest at home has everything to do with every indigenous person. Don't think it's just about the Biafra people. It is not just about us. When we talk about the disintegration and peaceful disintegration and referendum, once Biafra gets it and becomes free, every other region will be free. The Hausas will be free. The Yorubas will be free. The Middle Belt will be free. Everybody will have their region and practice what they want. That is all we are asking for. But unfortunately, nobody is going to offer that. Instead, Nigeria is busy diving deeper into the terrorism, sleeping and waking up with the terrorists every blessed day, fighting the innocent citizens in order to protect the terrorists. Nigeria, as we speak today, is sponsoring terrorists at the expense of the genuine citizens. I can bet you that the citizens are the ones suffering. The citizens continue to suffer. Why the contraption called Nigeria itself continue to push and support terrorism. It is sad. Very, very sad, but that is the situation. That is the situation. I want to play a video for you. I want you to listen to the information that this guy is passing on this video. On the process, how Nigerian government is sponsoring the terrorists in Nigeria at the expense of the citizens. I want you to pay attention to this video I'm about to play. You will see in clear terms, when we say that Nigerian government is a terrorist government, it is not just a propaganda, or it is a statement of fact. Pay attention to this video I'm about to play. You will go to learn a lot of things from it, including the international community. Even if you are not a Nigerian, pay attention. You can share it with your people. And you will know the reason the Biafrans are always online every day shouting. You will know why Biafrans want to get out of Nigeria by all means necessary. You will not understand until you pay attention. I want you to pay great attention to this very video. Listen from the beginning to the end. Why the video is playing, I will explain so that you can be able to understand what this guy is talking about. How the government of Nigeria treat the Boko Haram members. Boko Haram members are given the privilege no citizen in Nigeria has. No citizen in Nigeria has the privilege that the Boko Haram has. I want you to listen to the video.
Rehabilitate. Now, what they do, after the rehabilitation, they fill form, they ask questions. How many people have you killed? So if you kill 50, you have your own class. 50 and above, 20.
During their rehabilitation, after they have heard them on their acclaim their rehabilitation, they will bring all the members of Boko Haram and line them up. When they line them up, they will be asking them, how many people have you killed? How many lives have you taken? And they'll be writing it down. And they group them according to how many lives you have taken. And in that grouping, you will see how they treat them how they gain benefit depending on how many lives you have taken. And the more lives you take, the more benefit you get from Nigerian government. I want you to listen.
Now, what they do, after the rehabilitation, they fill form, they ask questions.
They ask questions.
How many people have you killed?
How many lives have you taken?
You have your own class. 50 and above, 20, I have never...
If you take the life of up to 50 people, you have your own class. 50 and above have a different class. That is how they grade them.
So if you have never killed, maybe you stay there 1 month and go off.
If you have never taken any life, you will only spend 1 month in their rehabilitation center and they will let you go. After 1 month, they will send you back into the city. And these things is based on what the terrorist tells them. Terrorists can decide to tell them that they have not killed anybody, even when he has killed. So they group them according to how many lives they've taken. If you have taken up to 50 lives, there's a different time for you. If you're taking more than 50 lives, there's a different treatment for you. And when you have not taken any life, you spend only 1 month in their camp, rehabilitation camp, and they will send you back to the city. Now listen.
If you kill small number, 2 months. If you kill many, 6 months.
If you taken few lives, like that 50, they call it few lives, you will spend only 2 months in their rehabilitation camp. If you have taken many lives, you will spend 6 months in their rehabilitation camp. Who does that? We are talking about human life. When you take up to 50 lives, they will keep you in rehabilitation camp for only 2 months. You go back to city with many benefits, not just going back, with many benefits. If you have taken more life up to 50 and above, different benefits. You spend 6 months in rehabilitation with different benefits. This is the situation. This is what is going on in this zoological problem. And look at the person making this testimony in their national TV with the Nigerian flag behind him. You see why we don't want to associate ourselves with them? I want us to listen. Look at the benefits.
Which type of ammunition that you use, then that's the people that they are going to pay them a payoff of.
They will ask you, which type of ammunition are you using when you are working for the terrorists? They will ask you, which kind of ammunition you were using? You are using AK-47, SMG, automatic machine gun. The area you operate determine how much you'll be paid off when you're being paid off. The kind of weapon you use determine how much you'll be paid as a compensation. Listen.
3 million and a monthly salary of 50,000. I'm saying this, it should be a shocking.
You didn't hear that? Let us go back a little bit. We need to get all the information. Let us go back a little bit.
To pay them a payoff of 3 million and a monthly.
They pay them off, pay off after they have been in that rehabilitation. They pay them off with 3 million. 3 million pay off is what they give to the terrorists. 3 million, and then they place them on salary of 50,000 every month. After their fake rehabilitation, they will be paid 3 million, a payoff of 3 million, and then 50,000 monthly allowance, monthly salary for a terrorist that have taken lives. For terrorists that have taken lives.
Salary of 50,000. I'm saying this, it should be a shocking. I'm revealing this. After being rehabilitated, what happens the next? If you cannot live without gun, the government will provide gun for you.
After rehabilitation, the government will ask them, Is there any way you can survive without gun? And if the terrorists say, I cannot live without gun, I cannot live without operating with a gun, government will provide an alternative for the person where he is going to use the gun and continue to do what he's doing. I am not the one saying it. Look at the person confessing it here. This is the kind of, when they tell you that rehabilitated or re-radicalized terrorists, this is the process they are going. They will give them a payoff of 3 million and 50,000 salary. And then when you are going, they will ask you if you can operate without a gun or you cannot exist without a gun, and listen to the conditions.
As a civilian JTF, you all know that they are here in Abuja.
They will recruit you into the civilian JTF. If you say you cannot live without a gun, they will put you into the civilian JTF. Many of you have seen this, their JTF in the north. You hear about JTF, civilian JTF. And then they will hand over the gun to the person. Now listen.
Most of them are repentant Boko Haram. Some of them that they cannot stay in the society, they are being exported to Algeria.
Some of them who blood have already sink to their body, their eyes, that they cannot be able to stay. They cannot be able to stay without a gun. They take them and send them to other countries like Algeria. Did you hear that? These people, they tell you that after in the campo, after camping, 300 million payout, 50,000 monthly salary. They will put you into the JTF if you are one of those who can operate a gun and you can live without a gun. Or they will send you to a neighboring country to go there and continue to conduct your operation. Let's listen. Let it not be that the one saying it.
To go and attack the miners. To go and
they will send them to other countries to go and attack the miners, people who are mining, those who are mining, or those illegal miners or whatever. I don't know what they are. Those miners, they will send them to go and attack.
Illegal mining,
gold miners in Algeria. He mentioned Algeria to be precise. They will send them there to go and attack the people they radicalize.
Mining in Algeria and be paid. If they sustain gunshot, they are going to be transported back to Maiduguri. And
if they sustain gunshot in the process of attacking the miners, if they sustain gunshot, they will transport them to Maiduguri for treatment. They will transport them back to Maiduguri. They will bring them back to Maiduguri. I think they are teaching hospital for treatment. I want you to hear it from him.
Do illegal mining, gold mining in Algeria, and be paid. If they sustain gunshot, they are going to be transported back to Maiduguri and treated in the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital.
They will be brought to University Teaching Hospital of Maiduguri and be treated. Members of Boko Haram, after radicalizing them, they will give them a payout of 3 million. I think he said 3 million. Then put them on salary 50,000 every month. Then those of them who cannot live without guns, they will put them into the JTF to begin to operate. Some of them will be sent to miners in Algeria to go and attack the miners. And when they sustain injury over there in Algeria, they will bring them back to Borno, to the University Hospital in Borno, to treat them of their gunshot wound. Do you see what Nigerian government is doing? Do you see the VIP treatment that is being given to members of Boko Haram? That is when they tell you that they spend billions in re-radicalizing, you'll be wondering, where is the billion going? Have you now understood the process, how they spend the money, how they give VIP treatment to terrorists? When we say Nigerian government is a terrorist government, it is not just a mere here word. All you need to do is to pay attention to what is happening. This confession is not, this man is not a member of IPOB. Neither is he a Biafra. He's from the north, testifying and speaking about these issues on live video. But the media will not say about it. Nigerian media will not mount on this. Nigerian media will not probe this. The international United States should pay close attention. That is why we say whenever United States is trying to do anything in connection with Nigeria, that thing is already failed. It has failed even before you start. Any collaboration with Nigeria is already a failure. Even before you start, it's already a failure.
Movement of Borno State. The repented IDPs, repented Boko Harams, and also the civilian JTF go to Zamfara. They are there. The government of Zamfara is paying them 70,000. The government of Borno State is paying the.
In Zamfara, they are paying the repentant Boko Haram 70,000 per month. In Borno, they are paying them 50,000 every month on salary. Zamfara is paying 70. Borno is paying 50. Now hear the twist.
He's paying 70,000 to the Borno State government. The Borno State government is paying them 50,000.
Meanwhile, it was supposed to be 70,000, but Borno cut their own down to 50. Then that very 20 on top, whoever is in charge is taking it to himself. Now it becomes a business. And this salary is provided by the Nigerian government. It's one paying Boko Haram in Zamfara 70,000 per a person every month. In Borno, the same thing, but Borno cut it out. They are giving them 50,000. And they are keeping 20 for themselves. And these people are thousands in numbers. That is why every year they tell you that, about 600 have been radicalized. About 5 million have surrendered. They continue to give you these figures every blessed day. This is a business run by the cabal in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, sponsored with the money from our own resources in Biafra land. And this is the reason we can never, ever, ever be part of this Zoological Republic, no matter what anybody says. We are out and we are out for good.
Meaning it is a job, it is a business. It is not a crime to start a business if the business is being recognized by our government. The business that I'm craving for is to start my terrorism. I'm not going to terrorize anybody. I'm going to fight back. It has been so painful that the killer of my dad is being paid with taxpayers' money.
The people that took the life of his father, this guy lost his father to Boko Haram. And the people that took the life of his father were placed under salary by a Nigerian government. They are paying them salary, feeding them fat, sending them to Saudi Arabia for Hajj, sponsoring their trip anywhere they want to go. The people that took his father's life. And he can barely find something to eat. And I want you to continue to listen.
The abductors of our wives, our children, our sisters are being paid off by the taxpayers' money.
Imagine.
They drive luxury car with escort.
They are driving luxury car with escort. The commanders of this Boko Haram, the people that murdered people in cold blood, this guy is telling you that they are living large, riding big cars, and they are moving around with escort in Nigeria. They are moving around with escort, police escort. Members of Boko Haram, the Boko Haram commanders, moving around with police escort. This is a life testimony now. I know we say they say, look at him here. And he's going to mention a name.
There is one man that slaughtered 96 people a day.
There is a man that took the life of 96 people a day. In one day, he took the life of 96 people. And look at how government treated him.
Now he's driving with Hilux. His name is Adam Uruguru.
Now the man is driving Hilux. He mentioned the name of the man. The man that took the life of 90-something people in a day. Today, He's a very rich man driving Hilux. Driving Hilux. That murderer is driving Hilux. Meanwhile, the people that he took their life are the one, and he even called the name of the man. Let's take it back again, and we'll see whether we can see the name of that man.
Now he's driving with Hilux. His name is Adamu. I'm saying this.
He mentioned his name, Adamu, somebody Adamu. He mentioned his name. He mentioned his name. Somebody Adamu. A man that took innocent life today is living large.
A day. Now he's driving with Hilux.
Adam. He says his name is Adam Ramudu or whatever. Adam. Say his name Adam.
His name is
Adam
Adamu. I'm saying this. I don't care. I don't care. I'm ready to die.
Imagine. This is what is happening in Nigeria. You see how Boko Haram members are given VIP treatment. The man is giving example, calling names and mentioning people, the members of Boko Haram that he knows that are living life with escort. So it is not a guesswork. This is a country that kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. Nnamdi Kanu has never taken the life of anybody. Nnamdi Kanu was only making a broadcast, revealing the atrocities of Nigerian government, revealing the plans of the Fulani people. That was why they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu. And today, Nnamdi Kanu is in detention. They gave him life sentence simply because he was making revelations. Simon Ekpa sentenced in Finland because he was telling his people to guide themselves against these same terrorists that are given VIP treatment by Nigerian government. What else do you want to see? What else do you want to see to convince you that it is high time we walk away from this zoological republic? It is very shameful and sad. Very, very shameful and sad to see. Every day, more information are coming. You remember when Gumi was also interviewed? And Gumi made it clear that Nigerian government knows every terrorist by their name and their location. Some of you forget so easily. And that is why when United States try to collaborate with Nigeria, I'll be wondering, what are you collaborating with Nigeria for? For what? I don't know why Donald Trump will ever think of collaborating with Nigeria in anything. That also brings us back to interest. We know that every people have their interests. The United States have their interests. Everyone has interests. But whatever your interest might be, think about humanity. Think about humanity. Every connection with Nigerian government is crime against humanity because they will never change. Look at how Boko Haram is being treated. In a country where the innocent citizens barely can find food to eat. In a country where their wages is not up to 30,000. Minimum wage in Nigeria today, people are still taking less than 30,000 minimum wage. But Boko Haram is placed under the salary of 50,000 after a payoff of 3 million. It is sad. Very, very sad. And for some of you who think that this situation will stop or the situation will change, think again. If you're one of those who think that anything will change, sorry to disappoint you, think again. Listen to this.
And pictures with this terrorist where you know where they are. We've communicated with them. You've even as far as negotiating with them, you know. So a lot of people believe that since you have, you know, the knowledge about all this, is it that the government does not have the power or the equipment to know where these terrorists are? to tackle insecurity.
The government knows every terrorist by name and by location.
Did you hear that?
I don't go yellow.
That government knows every terrorist by their name and their location. Did you hear that? Does it mean that the West is not seeing this video, or that Donald Trump is not seeing this video? This is a man telling that the government of the day knows every single terrorist by their name and their location. That is why you see when they kidnap school children, the government pretend as if they didn't know. They will continue. It will be this as usual. All they do is to go and pay them the ransom, and that is it. They know whom they are. They know where they are. They are not patrol. They don't care.
I don't go to the terrorists alone. I call the police, I call the security, everybody. I will go to the MES or that place. And far, when we went to one terrorist, I went with, even with women with me. To the bush. The thing is, you didn't see it before the camera was not concentrated on it. I don't go hello. Look at it. These herdsmen that have taken arm, the victims and the government, and they, and a vicious cycle of violence. The victims see them as what you said, terrorists, evil people. The government see them terrorists, evil people. But have you asked, how do they see the government and how do they see the people who are as victims? What do they see from them? What gives a man the heart, the courage to come in and kill people and kidnap people? What is the motive behind him? Because ordinarily, I said before 2009, these same people were just driving their cattle, passing towns and villages, doing nothing, not killing and kidnapping people. So what happened 2009 upwards? They became the monster we see. If you can answer that question, then you have a solution to our problem. How do they see us? If you can answer it, you have the problem. And then you come and see that, oh, what Shebumi did. May Allah bless him. Because I crossed to see what is the motive, what is behind them. Why are they doing it? My first shock is when we wanted to see them. Oh, wanted to see them through their amples. They say they are ready. Some of them on motorbike, they came 3 days coming to where we first gathered in Kidandan forest. 3 days on bicycle coming from Zamfara and Zulmi so that they meet us. They are ready to see somebody, a clergy, coming to meet them. Number one. That was during Buhari's time. Later I will tell you, when we understand what is the motive behind them and we see that the government needs to know. Seeing Buhari, then, you need to see Turji and Dogo Kite in the thickness of forest is easier than for you to see a president. Even now, if you want, you can go to the bush as a team and see them. But can you go to Aswaro and see the president? So why are even the criminals more accessible than even the leaders are supposed to be more accessible? This is one of the problems. So when we went there, they came and gathered and we spoke with them. Okay, we give them time. So why I sit down with them, you see? I'm a preacher. I don't judge people. And when I hear that, you know. So as far as to me, they are, as far as for me, they are Nigerians and they are committing crime, I see. So, but I have to give them the benefits of doubt to explain my source. And so that I can hear exactly what they have, I don't show them. I love them. You see, when we approached, everybody's habitat, everybody's holding his rifle ready. Any small thing to fire. This is how we approach them. They have all men around. Everybody ready to fire. But when we come down from our depots, we say let them bring chairs. We sit down with them. One of them, I made him to come and sit down close to me. He was saying, no. I made him, come, don't worry, you are our brother, come. Then he felt comfortable and he came and sat down. He gave him microphone, he said everything, vomited everything. All of them, they vomit to you everything. And what they tell us, we hear it from soldiers. You see, I told you, I see a lot of people. Soldiers from first division came to me, soldiers. I can give you a clip of what a soldier confessed to in house. One, who owns cattle usually? Is it the Fulani or the cows dwellers? Who owns cattle? The Fulanis. The Fulanis. So 2009, the first thing that started was cattle rustling by some Fulani elements. Rustling their cattle. So they lost cattle. So in trying to protect their cattle, they get armed. Because you cannot live 5 minutes in the bush, forest without an arm. So in trying to protect the illicit cattle they became armed, selling their cattle and buying arms. So now that stimulated the black market of arm or gun running. There's people whose business is just to sell gun to wherever it is, gun and bullets. So that stimulated it because Fulanis now are selling cows, trying to get arms. So after rustling their cattle, now they are armed without cattle. And now the military came in for the first time to fight cattle rustlers. This is what they tell us whenever we come. And they say we welcome them. But unfortunately, when they come indiscriminately, they are killing everybody. One soldier told me he himself has seen has seen a genocide in the bush. Genocide of Fulani in the bush. Nobody's talking about it. And I've spoken with many news media. What I'm surprised, if I tell them a soldier told me there was genocide of Fulanis in the bush, no any news reporter or anybody is concerned about that.
You see how this man is making a case for the Fulani terrorists to justify what they are doing. Claiming of you are talking about Fulani genocide in the forest, and you forgot that Biafran genocide is still going on in the cities and states in Biafra land today, even as we are speaking. Nigeria terrorist army are still conducting operation in Biafra land, taking innocent life. What happened in Ozu River? Is that not genocide? Is that not enough for Biafra people to pick up arms and begin to rampage everywhere? What happened in Aba? Is that not genocide? What happened recently in Oguama? Is that not genocide? The one that is still going on in Biafra, is that not genocide? But yet, nobody seems to pay attention to the situation in Biafra land. But look at a man here, Sheikh Gumi, making a case for the terrorists that are taking innocent life. He is making a case that doesn't even hold water. Every single thing he's saying here doesn't hold water. Because you are talking about something that was done against you by the military. So why are you now focusing on innocent citizens, beheading innocent citizens and attacking innocent citizens? Why don't you channel your energy to the military that attacked you? What does that got to do with people in Biafra land? What does that got to do with the invasion of Oduduwa land? But look at this man making a case for them. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. This simply shows, confirm the fact that Nigeria is irredeemable. If elements like this can come on the national TV and continue to make a case for terrorists, continue to warn and boldly tell you that Nigerian government knows every terrorist by their name and address. And yet, the same government will come and tell you that they are fighting insecurity. And the greatest mistake the United States will make is each time they come back and say they are collaborating with Nigeria, I laugh. Anytime I hear news that the United States collaborated with Nigeria to do one thing or the other, that is a blatant lie. And if US does not desist from such kind of announcement, they will wake up and realize that their image has been completely destroyed by the zoological republic. You can never walk alongside with the zoo and remain the same. Never. Never, ever. There's never a way you can walk with the zoo and remain the same. We have been warning and warning and warning. If you don't want to learn, you're going to learn in a hard way. And I hope that this message gets to Donald Trump. The earlier you take action in Nigeria, the better. The more you continue to wait, the more you expose the life of the citizens to danger.
Saying, how can we expand this story and see, and let's go and even see the places? No, nobody is concerned about this genocide of Fulanis. Nobody. And when we go to the bush, in front of government officials, you go to say, yes, the military came in and they were killing us. So we have to use our guns that we are trying to protect our cattle now to fight back. So then we ask them, why do you attack villages then? Why? What has the villagers done to me? They said vigilantes. The vigilantes come from that village, they come and kill us.
Imagine. You see how he's brazenly making a case for the terrorists. When we say Nigeria is irredeemable, it is not just, we're not just saying it because we want you to make you feel happy. We are not saying it to make the zoo look bad, because it can never look bad than as bad as it is today. There's nothing anybody can do to make Nigeria look as worse than it is today. You don't need to, nobody have to waste his energy to make Nigeria look bad. It's already bad enough. For anybody to get the information of the decay in Nigeria, it's just to pay attention to their news. And you will see that the country has decayed and is irredeemable. So, my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. Do not allow anybody to deceive you. Nigeria is not meant for you. It is not meant for me. And nobody is going to protect you except you protect yourself. You must learn to protect and defend yourself at all times. You must learn to protect and defend yourself. Nobody is going to defend you. Wherever you are, today is Monday. We are fast approaching to our Remembrance Day, which is coming up on the 30th May. 30th May is a total lockdown in Biafra land. On that day, the Sokoto Declaration will be made in conjunction with Arnold and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We can't wait to see that. Prepare yourself. Don't get yourself into trouble. Remember, the enemies will always attack in every Remembrance Day. Prepare yourself and protect yourself as much as you can. Stay indoor. It is a lockdown. Remember, our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa court case is coming up on the 5th of August. And there will be a protest in Finland from 5th of August to 7th. Biafrans are advised to turn up. Biafrans are encouraged to turn up in Finland. Be in Finland before 4th so that you can join the protest. The case of Mazi Simon is going to last from the 5th to 21st of August. So within that time, make your space, make yourself available so that you can join. More especially with the protest that is starting or kicking off on the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Then the case goes from 5th to 21st. And also make sure you support the legal fare for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, United States of America international lawyer. That international lawyer is very important to make sure that our Prime Minister is properly represented in Finland. You and I know that his right was not respected in the previous court. Up to the time he was sentenced, no single evidence was received from Mazi Simon Ekpa. The prosecutor refused to admit evidence against Nigerian government. They refused to admit any reason. They said that the evidence was so horrible, they couldn't watch it. Is that a reason, enough reason for you not to admit an evidence against the government? So these are all the rights of Mazi Simon Ekpa that was abused. And we will make sure it doesn't happen again. We'll make sure that the right of Mazi Simon Ekpa is respected in the appeal. How do we make sure his rights are respected? Is to make sure that that very international lawyer performs his duty by encouraging him. Join the fundraising. Look at the link where the link is. Link is scattered everywhere. Search for the link. Go and make your donation to that fundraising to support the legal fare of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, to make sure he gets a proper representation. I appreciate every one of you that have joined us on today's program. Thank you for being part of this program. Remain strong wherever you are. Do not get discouraged. Sometimes the trouble will get so hard. Sometimes you will feel like giving up. Don't give up. Continue to stand firm and stand strong. Let us continue asking questions. Let us continue learning. Let us continue discussing history responsibly. Thank you to everyone watching around the world, wherever you're watching from. Please like and share the stream if you have not done so. Share the broadcast to everyone. Subscribe if you have not done so. Drop your comment in the comment section. Tell us your own thought respectfully. Tell us your thought respectfully on the comment section. Until next time, stay informed, stay peaceful, and never stop seeking knowledge. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide and protect every single one of us as we participate on this program. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No weapon formed or fashioned against us shall prosper, and no weapon formed or fashioned against our leaders shall prosper. Thank you so much for watching. See you again later in the day. Stay blessed.
The very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chukwu Okike abịama pụrụ ihe niile, Chineke na-oge ndị nsọ na-efe wee na isi ala niile anyị na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile. Onye anyị na-aja mma wee anyị anaghị efe arụsị, ọ bụ naanị gị onye kere ihe niile ekere eke maka onye kere ya. Ọ bụ ya mere ndị nsọ na-ekiri ha na isi ala niile, ọbụladị ndị okenye ụlọ ọrụ ndị na-atụ mkpọ ọla edo na ha na-esi nsọ. ụtụtụ a ehihie abalị n'ụwa niile wee na-arịọ gị mma anyị wee na-arịọ gị eze ebube gị etinye ọgbara n'etiti ndị iro ka ha rapụ ndị anyị onye bụ nna Chineke na ndị nsọ ka aka nsị ndị na-ekwu wee baa ise obodo kwesịrị isi wee laa ya n'iyi anyị wee na-arịọ gị onye na-adịte ma ofe ebighị biko ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee dị ọsọ ọsọ na nkete na ụmụ ha takwa na ahụ anyị wee na-arịọ gị wee na-adịte ịhụnanya nke pụrụ iche onye iwe etinye ụmụ ya ezi mmụọ nke eziokwu anyị aka ajọ ihe mmụọ ndụ anyị bulie aha nsọ n'elu ise.
But you know what? They would like you to believe that someone is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look with you. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you.
Come on,